Is it on? It's on. Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... I brought out the tie-dye today because it's another special occasion. Well, kind of. We're doing MidoriStories. That always feels like a special occasion, to be honest. Even if last time the Broken Angel ended up being rather underwhelming in retrospect. Yeah, there's really what else to say about that. It just is a thing that even happened, and but still, I always love going back to seeing the MidoriStories videos, even if some of them don't hold up. This one, I'm not entirely sure whether or not it will or not, because I have looked at it a couple of times since I first watched it, but really only for the purpose of at one point turning that into a lesson while I was in Spain, actually. I don't know what the lesson was about exactly, but something to do with like storytelling, essentially. So yeah, I mean, clearly it stuck with me. And yeah, when this first came out, there was a lot of excitement around it. Obviously, Not Your Average Girl was the thing that really like started to propel MidoriStories into into the it's like the major spheres of the gacha community at the time. But this is where a jump was made that I guess never made it to Kamexru's waves again, but but it was jump nonetheless, and that was to voice acting. I remember there was a lot of hype around the idea of, this voice acting gacha series coming from this channel that people would be, aware existed in the first place. Surprisingly, not as many mentions to Viara as I would have expected, considering that, and when Kamexru made the mistake of saying that the Music Freaks was the first gacha voice acted series, this one never actually came up. Of course, we all know here which one actually was, among the first gacha voice acted series like before that. But I mean, from the general public's perspective, this is most likely what they saw initially before even, actually slightly after Sapphire Wings, now I think about it. But yeah. So I don't know, it never gets brought up in that particular context, but the fanfare around the trailer particularly was something that surprisingly actually caught my attention. So today we're going to do something we don't normally do on Gacha Review. We're going to look at a trailer as our first video. Yeah. Welcome to the Twilight Zone today, or whatever. So the reason we're doing that is because, yeah, I remember watching this trailer and also being curious. Obviously, I think I was like the only person at the time who, was not surprised at the idea of a voice acted gacha series in general. But even so, I wanted to see, someone else actually do it. This might have been the first. I think this was the first voice acted gacha series that I watched. Aside from Aphmau skits, obviously, that I watched as an observer, rather than as a creator. So, yeah, I mean, it felt particularly special for that reason, and also because the way that it was executed. Because remember, there was no template to begin with for how a voice acted gacha series would work. So, different approaches were taken. Like, for example, my approach was contact everyone that you possibly know already on Discord and say if they want to actually be in this thing, and and also then include the people that got you into gacha, the only ones that actually know what gacha is, as 5 out of the characters. So yeah, the Twilight Zone, nice. But in the case of Midori, there was another there was another, I guess, idea. I guess, like, I'm pretty sure, like, the announcement came out about this, but, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean as to how this went down. But alright, let's go ahead and begin with this. Let's see. Let's watch the trailer. Let's, get the imposter allegations out of the way. Without further ado, on with the review.
It's not about what you do. At the end of the day, it's about how you do it.
So already you can tell that, the voice in general is obviously like the big sales point that's immediately going to cause the excitement. And so therefore keep the actual visuals that we've seen Midori already be able to do in the background. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing here.
That's how you succeed.
This.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, hold on a second. No. We can't go past this. Hold on. Where is it? There something. Okay. Gacha Heroes coming in winter. I mean, okay. I guess way to immediately advertise something else in your advert. All right. Sure. Also, yeah, good points. Feet on the pedals. Yeah.
Wait, you mean I didn't have it?
Also, I don't believe this would be tweening as much as it is, using the animated poses in Gacha itself. I could be wrong, but it felt like that.
Oh, you're crazy.
Hey, pass the ball over here. That would be.
Yep, I remember those loops. This is a Wii Sports remix. It might be actually. Yeah, dun 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 dun. Dun. Yeah, probably actually.
Great if you could do that.
Oh my god, just thinking about it makes
the beginning blow section was tweening, despite the fact that it was blurred. Wow. Okay. I mean, that definitely feels like a missed opportunity there, or really relying on the voice aspect. Which honestly, having learned from the terrible marketing of Musical Season 1, yeah, that was definitely the approach that I should have gone for, rather than just doing like the bursting of the animation. Make the voice acting the sales point. Yeah.
doing more.
Shut up already! I'm trying to take a nap!
I believe you guys can win. Yeah, she was pretty adorable.
Oh yeah, you're right. I wonder if it's a boy or a girl.
Even if you feel left out, we're here for you. As a family!
Oh, so cool.
So this is what it feels like to have friends.
This is what it feels like to have your hair pop out of your hood on one side. But yeah, there you go. Fairly simple approach. Already gets you intrigued. And then, I don't remember this part, actually. A little bit of an issue there with the chroma keying, but oh well.
Hey, I'm Yugo. And
Hi, Yugo.
the first episode will be releasing soon. I don't actually know when, but I know it's soon. So just ask Midori for the answers.
I mean, sure. Hey, Midori, you didn't tell us in the video when this is coming out. We're going to ask you directly. Also, yeah, speak up, Chiron. Yeah, of all the characters to actually do the announcement, this does feel like having Julika announce a season of Miraculous for some reason. Like, it's not going to work.
Okay, bye.
Oh, I got the zoom out there at least. I mean, okay, so I personally would have cut the trailer off before this point. You already made the point of having the voice actors in there. You already got the point how still reiterating the anime aspects, the custom backgrounds, the tweening, obviously. Clearly all that was in place. We didn't need necessarily oh hey, this thing is going to be coming out soon. That was implied. It's a trailer. So yeah, I don't know. Would have trimmed that part out honestly, but I don't know. Okay. Either way, that was the trailer, and yeah, like I said, caused a lot of fanfare at the time. You can probably see why. But we're not here to talk about paltry trailers, whatever. Let's get back to normalcy. Let's get back to ignoring them like we're supposed to, obviously. And actually proceed with the first episode of Midori's first voice acted project. Sucks to be me, episode 1.
MidoriStories.
Oh, one thing the trailer didn't do was actively outline really what the story was about, aside from potentially, the idea of having friends. That doesn't really tell you that much about it, so, that's one other thing. It's definitely more of a case of, market, like, the visuals and voice acting rather than the story itself to a certain extent. So, now we'll see, if the proof was indeed in the pudding or not.
Follow the gram and like and subscribe for more beautiful content.
Also, this is a very interesting thing to have text-to-speech in front of your first voice-acted video. Why? People are going to hear what you sound like anyway. And of course, we have the random establishing shots, because it wouldn't be a MidoriStories video without it. It's not around this time period. What about that bunny in the back there? I don't know. First time I saw it, I thought that was just Caitlyn. This like 8-bit world would have been great for like the monster in Fernab with the monster, like when it becomes like they like big like the sprite that was used. Oh no, it's James! It's James the pigeon! He's followed us, everyone! He's followed us from Lunasun's channel! No! Speaking of Lunasun, one thing that Ghost Kitty mentioned actually, if I can go to the top here, yeah, Lunasun is in this as a voice for someone called Yumi. Well,
today's the day!
Okay, so several things. One, love the frizzy hair at the start of the morning. Always a classic. Two, the sound effects in this are very video game-esque as opposed to the like ambient sound effects or like trying to apply like realism to it, I suppose. So that's already, I guess, a choice that has been made. The one thing I'll say about the hair is that it seems to be a different a different shade to the rear hair, and the back hair seems to be like lifted up, which is not a thing you could do in Gacha Life. So I guess that's just like a desyncing thing or whatever. I don't know.
I'm Yumi and I'm 15 years old. Today is the day I go
There you go. That's Yumi.
to my new school I'm transferring to.
And of course, classic Gacha narration at the beginning. It couldn't be a whole, it could be a whole departure from the norm. That being said, the character didn't, change how their clothes appear in front of us this time. Instead, we had a sliding door transition. Very nice. The hair still isn't synced up, but oh well.
Honey, breakfast is ready.
Today your mother made
No
some
time!
great.
I'm running late!
Oh, sorry, Barney. I guess we'll,
I hope to make some nice friends as well.
Oh yeah, another thing is I keep forgetting that Midori actually like puts in like animals into into these videos. That's also a rare thing I don't see that often. But yeah, all these backgrounds are like fantastically chosen as well. We know they can't be AI, so they know they're integrated. I think this might have been. I know I compared this to kaikyuko in the description of this video, of this review, I mean. But yeah, I guess like one thing that they have in common is that like that's it seems to be that these backgrounds are probably taken from like either a specific anime or or a specific studio for consistency's sake. So if anyone recognized any of them, let me know.
Oh, what the hell?
I'm sorry.
She reminds me of Trinity. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of fitting, isn't it? After being voiced by Lunasun and all.
I wasn't paying attention.
Well, you need to start paying attention to where you're going.
Okay. Can we stop opening up, introductions like this? I guess I did just say, oh, hey, all this like anime inspiration and such, but I mean, come on, even like anime is getting bored of it at this point.
Just watch where you're going, okay?
Just looking at the hand, being like, what do I do with this? He's offering me a hand. I know.
Episode 1. Introduction.
Okay, so considering who's voicing all of those characters, it's weird they don't line up correctly.
Whoa! So, that's how snails are made?
I hope not. That's what my grandma told me. Well, enough about.
Are they having school in the sky? Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the moving backgrounds because that's something that I started doing myself, like, you know, like late after that, but I didn't want to imply that they were, you know, in a skyscraper while doing so.
Snails. Isn't there a new student transferring here today?
Oh yeah, you're right. I wonder if it's a boy or a girl. If it's a boy.
Did his hair just change color? Look at that again. Look at the rewind for a second. Aside from the random squashing that he didn't need to do for that frame. Yeah, look, see? His hair got darker for some reason.
If it's a boy, it's totally playing soccer with me. And if it's a girl, I hope she's super nice.
I mean, okay, interesting enough to saying like, you know, like it rather than they for some reason. I've heard that sometimes for some reason. I was like, okay.
What
right,
about
sure.
you, Hugo? What do you
But also, they feel like this, like, you know, like a parent trying to pick out, like, you know, the gender of their child or something. It's like, oh, you know, like, that's when you say if it's a boy or if it's a girl, you know. If it's a boy, then of course they're going to be playing soccer because, you know, obviously. Also, implication there, if it's a girl, I hope she's super nice. So a boy's allowed to be... Wait, hold on. What was that line? I need to go back.
If it's a boy, it's totally playing soccer with me. And if it's a girl, I hope she's super nice.
Yeah, exactly. So if it's a boy, you don't care if the boy's rude? What logic is that?
What about you, Hugo? What do you think it'll be?
I think it'll be another Hugo.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. Also, I guess you can see the name Yumi Amari on the board, literally right there. Apparently, I mean that would have been your clue.
Class, quiet down. I have an announcement. Class.
Only one person's gonna be talking in that frame, but yeah, like the background ambiance. Okay.
Class.
Also, I think the background, like outside of the sky, actually was flipped, so it wouldn't seem like it was the same before. So that was a nice detail.
Okay, have it your way. Everyone, shut the f up, you little snot, or I'm going to slap you and stick your finger up your butt.
Yep. So again, can't get away from all the gacha cliches just yet in the first go. You gotta have the crazy teacher a little bit here. You know, all missing is Miss Bex and a mustache. That being said, I prefer this immensely to the Music Freak scene, where they just have like that one character who no one would be able to hear over the top of all their talking. Just like, you know, going like, everyone be quiet. And that for some reason intimidates everyone so much. Like, I've never understood that. That character is not scary.
I have an announcement to make. We have a new student today. I want you to treat her with respect.
New student?
New student!
Oh my gosh, I hope it's a boy.
Meaning, shut up.
Oh my goodness, everyone cares about that so much.
You can come in now.
So it's like, you know, like gender reveal parts in the US. Like, who cares?
Oh, wow.
And why?
She's pretty.
Oh, I thought we were going to hear like disappointment from people. It's like, oh, it's a girl. Oh, man. Now she can't play soccer. Because that's a thing, apparently.
You can talk now.
Oh, hello. I'm Yumi Amari.
Okay, the sprite bouncing works exceptionally well for her, particularly because of like how sporadic she is.
I like life.
I mean, I like life as well. I appreciate that. I appreciate that I have it. I enjoy living it. Well, okay. I guess Yugo's disappointed. Yeah, no second Yugo there. Also, Gurmi, hello. You know something with your hair? You know, I wonder if actually to make this, because again, it is gacha life, so you either have to like start from scratch in terms of your character assets, or like you know, adapt them and modify them. I wonder if like these were all different not your average girl characters that have been like redesigned to look distinct from each other, but then, you know, kind of like swapped around.
Well, Yumi, that was nice. You can take a seat right next to Takashi. Now, I'm going to continue where we left off.
I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Takashi, right? Instead of Takashi. Maybe I could be wrong. I don't know.
Sup? I'm Takashi Kuroko.
Okay, I guess not. Takashi. There you go. I give, the director said so. I'll go with
There's
that.
no need to be nervous. We've all been in your situation.
I do appreciate, by the way, also the thing about the posters and such in the background, because again, another thing that you see a lot, ever since like the rise of Rosie Closey, but this was before that. So.
Before. Oh, these are my friends, Henry and Hugo. Sup?
Almost said like Henry E. Hugo, as in like, okay, we're gonna switch to Spanish now. Fair enough.
If you ever feel like you...
Takashi, be quiet!
We'll talk later.
Honestly, makes sense. Oh yeah, ad breaks. Yeah. I think I keep saying I'm gonna do my stuff, and I keep forgetting. These ones probably actually did have ad breaks on them. Okay, they shouldn't go on for that long. I do appreciate these uniforms looking like actual high school or college uniforms instead of sailor uniform, which are uniforms of middle schoolers, not high schoolers like people think. I mean, you know what? That's that. Yep, that's fair. From what I've seen a lot in a lot of stuff, I guess, like the sailor uniforms get like modified essentially. But yeah, the proper sailor ones would be middle schoolers.
Hey, Yumi, you don't really know your way around this place, do you?
No.
But now I think about it, one of the most famous anime of all time, Doraemon, doesn't have uniforms. I never questioned that before now. Oh wait, no, it does. They don't spend that much time in school.
Not really.
Great. If you don't mind, maybe I can give you a tour around the school.
Sure, that sounds nice.
There won't be any need for that.
Because I will tour around the school. I am the designated tour giver.
Hello, I'm Lily, the class leader.
Hello.
I'll give you a tour around the school because that's my job. And I think he has somewhere to be, right?
Okay, I know that I made the same joke, but bear in mind, I haven't seen this video in years, so, technically it's pre-watched, but, didn't know about it. That sounded like Travis, as in Patrick M. Seymour.
You're right. Duty calls. Well, see you later, Yumi. Don't let Lily bore ya.
Right, so, repressed childhood trauma, potentially, and bullying arc. All right, we'll bear that in mind. And that's that.
That new girl was pretty cute, don't you think?
Yeah, she was pretty adorable.
I wonder how...
Okay, another thing I really like, not even just like the backwards facing, but just the act of getting these two backgrounds, like having like, the back and forth shots. They are incredibly standard in most like animation stuff and live action particularly. But they're so tricky in Gacha, so I love seeing them in anything.
How's she look with makeup on?
Speaking of her,
Oh, I guess she doesn't wear makeup. Okay.
there she goes right there.
I mean, obviously, how would you tell who doesn't wear makeup in this universe without them telling you? So yeah, fair enough.
And this is the soccer field. And there's Takashi Kuroko. He's pretty good at soccer.
I mean, she's already met Takashi because she was sat next to him and you actively scared him away with your potential bullying powers. So you don't need to introduce him again. But this is a good time for me to actually talk about the other aspect of this and the reason I compared to kaikyuko in the first place, because we actually have, soccer/football here. Because, yeah, we haven't talked about anything that, like, features, honestly... Oh, wait, no. I was going to say, like, any sport. No, we've seen dodgeball stuff since then. But, football particularly, since the kaikyuko series. And that one didn't exactly leave the best impression. So, I'm going to name this girl Teku because she has Miku's pigtails and red hair like Tedo. Yeah, I mean... Okay, fair enough. I think we already said what her name was. I just forgot what it was. But yeah, my main point is like, like that, like one of the things in there was that, the even though the football is like an essential part of the story, it felt very much like it was like, every possible corner was cut. Meanwhile, this one is only like starting to get going, but it's really introducing it as like even a visual mechanic itself.
Great kick, bro. Woo!
Thumbs up.
Yeah,
Oh, that was also edited, I believe. Thumbs down. Yeah.
he is amazing.
Midori loves characters doing push-ups. There were some of them in the intro and now here as well. You don't normally do push-ups once you've already started, like, using the ball. Because that's normally what you do, like, as like your preliminary warm-ups before you start. So, along with, running and other stretches. Yeah, that's right. I did football for a year when I was 11.
Hey, Yumi! I hope Lily isn't boring you to death.
There you go, Lily. Okay, just make the same joke again. You've already said that. Get some new material.
My job is not boring.
No, but you yourself might be. Oh, and again, another time where like the character with red hair that have their pigmentation change. I'm guessing that's some sort of error with like how with how they're incorporated. I'm guessing that Midori like painstakingly put like the screen record in and the screen and the screen captures rather than doing them all in one form. That's why they look different. Because otherwise, I don't know why that would be. Because the only difference is the animated mouth. This is something that I mentioned before in like I think it was like on Sunday actually, fairly recently. But my method for making gacha used to be, because I rely so much on the animated mouths, them to either count as animated or for not have the visuals decline thanks to Gacha 2 not having the features I would need in terms of like making keeping up what I already had. But before that became an issue, in order to like keep the animation status that I was covering so much of the time, I wanted to stick with animated mouths in general. So for everything. And for Musical Season 1, it was always I always had animated poses for everything, kind of like what they're doing here in some aspects, but then like going into the sprite form instead to save on that. But yeah, reason being that I chose to screen record everything because I knew there was going to be a difference in quality between the screen capture, screen record, or there'd be like not synced up properly, or basically because the software I had at the time, it would take a long time to make sure that all the frames were lined up. So at first it was a case of, okay, I'm going to line the frames. Then it was a case of, I want to keep the mouths. And then I only switched to screenshots when Gacha Life 2 came out, because any animated mouths that have come out since then have been, obviously inserted onto the characters instead. So they are recorded separately, but everything else is screenshots because that gives you like better image quality because less of it is lost, less information is lost, so less pixelated, even if it's like not that much. So but with a lot of people it seems like they've noticed that screenshots are better provide better image quality, but then obviously have to screen record for animated mouths, and so you end up with either pixelation issues or in this case pigmentation differences when you have to apply, the same techniques to, crop out and chroma key the backgrounds and such. So I think that's what's happening here. Is that whatever technique is being used here is the difference between like when a character's speaking when they aren't that becomes the issue.
Anyway,
We'll take it from here, Miss Lily.
Or not? I guess she stopped talking and she's still there. All right. Who knows? I don't know what I'm talking about. Did she just step on a... I think she stepped on a toes just there.
wait, you can't.
You can thank us later.
Yes, you can thank us for, stealing the job that you stole from someone else. And also the person who is not protesting at all. I get that everyone wants to know, like, get to know the new kid, but I mean, come on, you don't need to, you don't need to be like, are they all trying to like fight to, incorporate into her friend group before she like bonds with somebody? And okay,
Yumi's your name.
nice tree shadow. I believe that's part of the original background, considering that the characters themselves don't have matching shadows.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm Michaela, and this is my bestie, Evan.
What's up?
We
Oh, okay, you decide to hide under the bush even though we already saw you. Okay. Why?
couldn't help notice but how outstanding you look. And we was wondering if you wanted to hang with us.
We want to we'll make you our pet project. We'll make you popular. You're gonna be popular.
Sure, we might not look like the coolest kids, but we'll be the greatest friends you'll ever have.
Promise.
Yes, because you've shown so much compassion for your fellow human beings up until this point.
But
Poor Lily.
why me?
I don't know what it
Oh, and there it is again. Pigmentation change on Yumi's hair.
is, but there's something special about you.
Yeah.
So, you want to...
Okay, so I'm guessing what's happening right now in the background here is that they're doing like running around because running around like the field is a card exercise that's like very common, and yes, there will be like a few people at the front, the main bulk group, and then a couple of stragglers, which usually included myself. Again, this part of my experience is playing football inspired puppy love. So that visual of that visual of character getting dehydrated almost at once. Yeah, that was me. So yeah, that's probably what they're doing right now. Which in this case, yeah, it still happens before you start kicking the ball around most of the time.
be friends?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, thanks. I'd love to be
Maybe this guy sounds a lot like the teacher. So I assume this video did 2 or more roles. Yeah, we're gonna come back to that when in the end credits, because that's what I want to talk about, like the method that Midori used for casting this character.
friends with you all.
Great. Well, I guess we might as well exchange numbers then, right?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, look at that pink phone. She's in Pop Josephine's gang.
Bye. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay.
I don't know why it cut out here. Oh, there we go. Oh, also, Matsuya Hai. Okay, so there actually is like a name on here. I noticed
I
that.
actually made friends today.
Yumi!
Okay, I swear I didn't get the visual of this for people above. That was from Pokemon Bridged.
Oh, I finally caught up to you.
I've been standing here for some time.
Here, it's my number.
Okay, the way that he passed that, look where his thumb is positioned in relation to the paper. He stuck the paper to his hand and went, "Here you go. Here's my number."
Just in case you wanna, talk. Sorry for the bad handwriting. You don't actually have to accept it if you don't want to.
Thanks. I definitely save it to my phone.
I would love it if his handwriting was so bad he just phones the wrong person.
Really? Awesome!
Well, I better hurry up and head home before it gets too late.
Okay, call me. Or text. Whatever one you want to do.
Okay.
That ahaha feels like like the force, like, oh you're so adorable, but you're not actually funny laugh that people do. I hope it wasn't
Not
though.
too bad, Takashi. Not too bad.
That's right. You haven't talked to her all day, but you had 2 pleasant interactions. Let's go. And also, you're not pre-rendered the scene because I saw you slide there. Okay. What is it with the characters hiding in bushes? Midori, again, material. Gotta vary it up a little bit here.
Somebody's got a crush. What? No,
Okay, like that. Vary up the way the characters move. Like that, exactly.
I just want to be friends with her.
I hope you guys at least get to become great friends.
Whoa.
Oh yes, at least great friends. Acquaintances won't do. You gotta be at least great friends.
That's weird coming from you, Yugo. Right.
I can't accept this paper, not because you don't want to, but you superglue it to your hand. Oh, don't worry about it. Hold on a sec. Hold on, wait a minute. It's just an empty handprint. Like the number's not visible.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. Let's just go. They'll find out one day.
I'll find out about my premonition powers that have already failed because I'd said that Yugo was going to show up. Okay, so here we go. Now we get the credits. I'm going to mute them because I'm pretty sure this is a copyrighted song, because of course it is. Classic credits here. Love the font and the shading behind it. Actually, it's a very simple idea to have these backgrounds like that. And it all came together without having to overcomplicate or do all these other scenes. And this is not like a bad way to showcase existing scenes for your end credits, because that's all that's been that has appeared thus far. I'm pretty sure that the trailer was also made only with visuals from oh, I know there are some other thoughts in the other episodes. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I mean, even despite all of that stuff, and the visual being the prominent feature on here, but instead everyone being on here with their credits, even if they're not the scenes that they belong to entirely. The one thing that started to to stand out to me, particularly, was the huge variety of different names that you can see on here from all of them, except for the guys. That's what that's what struck me particularly. And I know that Bond said before, oh wait, Midori was a guy. This is also what clued me into what Midori actually sounded like for the first time, because again, how would anyone have known? But it also made me realize that all those names were different to each other, except for Midori, which means that all of the characters that Midori actually that Midori couldn't voice himself or couldn't come up with voices for, he then obviously set out on the idea and tried to cast other people, which is similar to my approach of gather a bunch of people that want to be in the show and then voice bit parts of everyone else to cover up the bases. Kind of a similar mentality there, except for in this case, having to not handle, dealing out main parts to other people instead. But yeah, this is one thing is, with Winterfire particularly, because Winterfire was also well, it came after this series actually. So next week we'll be covering Winterfire, and is also voice acted exclusively by Midori, except for one character who I believe is just once again the classic Japanese stock voice acting that Midori used to use before this point. So yeah, but and what I'm wondering is, if the attempt was to minimize your casting pool by playing all the characters that you possibly could play, why then cast such a wide net to get other people involved? Now, one of two things could be the case. One, it could just be, you want to include all these people, or, for either for sake of star power because they're your friends, one of the other, or it could also be the case that happens in the voice acting community as a whole in Gacha. With the exception of our projects, weirdly, there is a shortage of male Gacha voice actors by comparison. So before the community formed, in terms of I guess the minority of male GachaTubers, who would have been the people that Midori would have contacted and cast, because look at all those names, they're clearly all GachaTubers. I mean, come on. That might be why. Maybe it's just a case of availability, but also not wanting to compromise on having all these different male characters. Because that is one thing that whenever Aiden is casting a show with a minimalistic casting pool, which mostly consists of he and I, and then also like a couple of other people here and there that he's obviously knows that are efficient and could deliver like quickly. I did the same thing for people above, but obviously not wanting to compromise on the characters and like come up with something for them. I sort of get it now. Because yeah, for people above, we cast mostly just like ourselves, like the three people who are supposed to like be working on the show together, with a couple of exceptions of like just like bit characters of like these people, or KW here have one line in the first episode. But yeah, in the case like other like shorter Aiden shows, yeah, there's a lot of a case like I want to like I'm going to change this character's gender so you can play them, which yes, that is a thing that he does sometimes. So yeah, it might be because of that, but either way, it definitely showed off acting chops that Midori had never expressed before, and potentially probably should have before this point, if we're honest. I mean, imagine Not Your Average Girl with like a couple of characters like like all of the like all of those like characters voiced by Midori. Luna's son could have been Mia for all we knew, or maybe they didn't know each other at that time. I'm not sure when the two of them met. But hey, a hypothetical scenario. Can't really say for sure, but that's how I ended up in the end for that episode. The one question I really do have about this is, why is the show called Sucks to Be Me? Because so far, it seems like things are looking up for the presumed main character, who is Yumi. There is potentially... oh, wait a second. Sorry, there's a little bit here that we should probably... I didn't realize there was a post-credit scene. Hold on.
Wait, you mean I didn't have it?
Oh, that was it. Okay, there's some like anime, you'll have like a couple of just like, oh, in the next episode, this, and that happens. But okay, I guess we just have one small bit there. Okie dokie. Sure. Anyways, back to what I was saying. Not sure why it's called Sucks to Be Me. Maybe like the mystery that that Yugo seems to be undergoing in this. I'll tell them someday or whatever. He seems to be like the gloomy character. He was also the one who announced things in the trailer. So again, having taken about having seen that now. Maybe that's what he was. That's why he was included. Like he's actually meant to be the focus, and Yumi's sort of like a red herring who things are looking up for. But Yugo is potentially, even if it's not the main character, he might be like the subject material. Like it's him that it would suck to be, rather than Yumi, and Yumi's going to find that out over time. Because Yumi and Hugo have not interacted yet. So I'd be curious to see like how that goes. And I guess we're in luck, because I also have episode 2 tonight. So final video for tonight. This is Sucks to Be Me, episode 2.
Midori Stories. Make sure to follow the gram and like and subscribe for more beautiful content.
I also realized that the text speech sounds a bit more Australian than I would have thought.
Wow, this is pretty.
This gives you slice of life of multiple POVs. Oh, like way down low. Maybe. I don't remember much about episode 2, actually.
Well, that's what it's like to be healthy.
Hey, Yumi, that rice ball looks pretty good. Who made you that?
I made it myself. They're actually not that hard to make.
Ooh.
Classic anime character making their own rice balls. Yep.
I'm gonna have to come over so you can teach me how to make them one day.
Okay, that sounds great.
Me too. I'm not the best.
I do like how the character in the middle here has like almost like a mean girl cadence to the performance, but says all the generous things the same way that a mean girl would, but could come across as being genuine, despite the fact that they sniped her away from a potential friend, who in turn also sniped her away. I don't know. The morality of how they're approaching this is all very interesting, but maybe it all comes from a good place. Who knows?
That cooking.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Okay.
What's going on?
What's going on is that her hair changed again. That's not an issue.
Oh, it's just him.
Oh, I guess that was too unimportant then. Just one of them.
He's not just any guy. He's an old friend. of mine.
Okay, if Yumi had said that guy in such like in like like a passing fashion, that would have been reason to say not just any guy. Otherwise, it's like, oh, not like other girls.
He's an annoying little brother to me.
What?
What? You have a sibling potentially, maybe, or brother figure? I wouldn't have known, given how long we've been friends. What has it been like? Less than 24 hours. Wow, what a reveal!
It's
Ezra.
Okay. 2-4 to skip intro. Oh, wait, we actually have a proper intro this time. Yeah, okay. I won't play the song, but I won't skip the intro because it does seem like it's different enough. Obviously, with front-facing before. Okay. Still making Yumi the focus here. So, I don't know. Is something going to happen to her? That's how we saw in the first episode. In fact, I think that was literally just the first episode. I have no idea. Okay, so it's interesting now that we have like episode 2 sometimes when people will do the intro to a certain show, actually. That's a common practice to get people like into the story. I do like the incorporation of the fonts here, and I guess all of these people are, more important now. Takashi gets his own text, I'm guessing. Probably, maybe. He might have already done so. But yeah, I guess one thing that I remember particularly from like the early days of the gacha community was that there were intros like this where the characters' names would be all that's on screen because they didn't have an actor's credit the same way that someone like a show would have as like yes starring blah 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 as this character appears on screen, etc., yada yada, whoever it might actually be. So, but of course, with because it's just the character in most cases. Most people would just play would just have the intro like that, being like, here's this person. It's a thing that I then copied for Alpha Witch Academy when I was trying to do like the cover up, basically. Also to an anime song, not gonna lie, but yeah, royalty free one, obviously. I'm not that crazy, but yes, that's why I emulated that, because there was no casting for that, and there still is no cast for Alpha Witch Academy. But then when it came time to make the mutant girl, I then, of course, because I did have a cast, I could actually put them on the screen. I was like, oh, that's like a point of price. Like, I actually have a difference and a reason for this intro to exist in this way. But Midori seems to be doing both things, because we know about the end credits sequence, which is going to be the same. But I guess with, give or take, having new visuals from the episode in question, but still introduces all the characters like this anyway, which I haven't seen done, I don't think, since like the Dork Hunters, which is a very obscure cartoon show, actually, that did the same thing. Now I'm thinking about it. Anyway, once again, here we have the football and the different blurs and, okay, stock footage to incorporate that. Yep. So again, it comes back into play. I thought Yumi was going to actually join in, but I don't know. Maybe the whole, girls and soccer thing. Oh, whatever. Also, yeah, Taka's introduction was right at the beginning after Yumi, so I'm guessing he's going to become more important. Which, again, the fact that Yugo seems to be the only person who fit the sucks to be me mold so far, as for the title, it seems so much more bizarre that he doesn't get his own portion of the credits. Unless that's the point, that he's so secondary that, it sucks to be him, he doesn't get his own billing. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, The Dork Hunters was not an anime. I think it was an Italian cartoon series. I think. So I don't know. You can look it up if you want. Because you normally do when I say something random like that. It's about a group of of 5 teens that hunt down these aliens called dorks. And 3 of them are themselves aliens. And the intro is, them having a scanned stat profile, basically, because because part of it is the dorks are hiding in plain sight, so you need to identify them. That's kind of the whole thing. That's why I did it in that way. But yeah, aside from that, yeah, it's not an anime, so yeah, I haven't seen anime specifically do this. So for MidoriStories, particularly trying to take inspiration from those aspects, it feels strange, but knowing what the Gacha community was doing and why they were pulling it off, I can also see why that was in his head to do.
Episode 2, first game.
Oh, okay, but you guys to read the title sequence, all right. Wait, by himself this time, rather than like having a bunch of different voices, all of which were Midori but sounded out of sync. So again, I don't get how you do that. Is that one character shirtless in the back there?
Mr. Ezra, can I get an autograph?
I promise to be a
Wait, no, they all look shirtless. I think it's just the color of the jackets.
great wife. I love you more than anything ever.
Looks like he's finally here. I'm surprised students from Evelyn even came to our school.
Oh man, it's the Ezra.
Okay, the Ezra. All right then. I typed in Dork Hunters, got Dork Hunters from Outer Space. I think that's probably what it was called. So to be specific, the show was called Los Cazadores in Spanish, which translates to the Dork Hunters, but I guess the full title is from Outer Space. That makes sense. It's that one. Oh, German British. Okay. I got the region completely wrong, apparently. All right.
Maybe we should greet him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that kind of seemed like they were running off crying, but was laughing. I don't know if that was just the sound effect, probably.
Ezra, sir, when do we get to the actual soccer team?
Ezra Sir sounds like a replacement for Ezra San, as in trying to use like a more respectful honorific for this one character, which is entirely possible given the influence. But I guess that was the closest translation you could get. Okay.
Patience for now. They're right here.
Is that's a rotating shot or an emulation of rotating shot. That's pretty clever because like once I go in one way, you go the other, it implies the rotation, but it's not quite like that.
Hey.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool.
I'm Takashi Kuroko, leader of the soccer team, and this is Henry and Yugo.
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Also, yeah, it was definitely the color of the jacket. They weren't shirtless.
Well, as you may know, I'm Ezra, and this is Lennar and Vince.
Okay, as you may know is not quite as bad as you know. It's close, but it has a little bit of ambiguity. So, we'll give it a pass.
Sup? Well, I look forward to today's match. I know you guys have put up a fight.
Of course we will. After all, we went undefeated last season.
This does also feel like, to use an actual anime as a comparison, one of my favorites was Inazuma 11, which partially was what like spurred me on to try out football for myself. It was really like this one kid from my brother's football team who decided to switch from being a from being a non-goalie to a goalie out of nowhere because no one else wanted to. It's like, oh, if he can do it, then wow, I want to try. But yeah, the other expression was Inazuma 11. Love that show. A lot of the team encounters work exactly like this. You know, the two captains kind of facing off because with like alternating teams, the main team has like, a bunch of deep multifaceted characters and such. The other ones tend to have like one, maybe two. Usually the captain is the one that has like the biggest personality from the rival teams and has the most prestige behind them. So, like in this case would be Ezra. So I can see that inspiration also present in here.
And we're gonna keep it that way too.
Hey, don't mess with the Bakugo gang, yes sir.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Sadly, I have to depart on our conversation now. May our paths cross again on the field.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, again, the timeline sort of checks out because, yeah, it must have been like around that time that I was watching it, maybe slightly after 2008. Remember, with Spanish TV, sometimes we get shows as they were brand new. Sometimes there'd be like, reruns that seem new to us. Other times we get SpongeBob 10 years after it first started. All is like on a specific channel, which is how I started watching SpongeBob. Other times you get classic shows also from around that time period, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, that never get a Spanish dub. And people always like, oh, wait, how come we didn't see Avatar until so much later? I was like, but I didn't have a choice. So it really does depend. So yeah, that was probably when I was watching around there, probably starting like 2010-ish time, I would say. Yeah. And the 2 seasons, yeah, that all tracks. Again, if I remember the main characters, there's 2 of them called like Eddie and Angie, and the other they were the 2 humans. I don't remember what the other aliens were called. And there was Principal Jones and Fido, who were 2 dorks in disguise, who were like sort of the mains that were they were like the leaders basically. So yeah, again, I'm pretty sure you've got this correct. Yeah, I have to check out this show later. I'm gonna have to rewatch it because I know almost nothing about it, and my camera froze.
Well, if it isn't the girl herself. Sup, Yumi?
The girl herself is very accurate because everyone's still like super hyped over being her friend. Yep, there we go. Eddie and Angie, like I said, acting in Romeo. Yeah, how did I forget Romeo? That's why I first heard the name, I think. Oh wait, no, it was Code Lyoko. Then I heard it in Dork Hunters. Yeah.
Kashi? Oh, I have a question.
What's up?
You wouldn't happen to have any secret relationship with Ezra, would you?
Huh?
You know. Secret relationship.
Why is she so interested?
Oh dear, it seems you have a little ice cream on your cheek. Let me get it for you.
What is happening? What is happening?
No way! I mean, I do play versus him in soccer today, but that's it.
I mean, they did just meet, so I don't know where she's getting this assumption from, or like someone told her something. This is also very accurate to the new kid experience. Someone who tries to play a prank on you or tries to spread some gossip. There was this one kid when I moved to the UK, actually, who like tried to spread gossip about a bunch of people. Or that was just kind of like how he interacted, honestly. Just like made up random nonsense about people. But, they obviously expected me particularly to believe it because I didn't know who the people were. And then he just like say something like, oh yeah, I know that this person did this, that, very like nasty thing or whatever. I was like, I bet you know who that is. And okay.
There's a soccer game today?
Yeah, you should come.
Sure. I'll make sure to cheer you on.
Awesome. Well, I better hurry up and head to the field. The game starts in 2 hours.
Okay, see you.
Wait, you're heading to the field 2 hours beforehand? That's way too much prep time. Like, yeah, like, I think, if I remember correctly, warm-ups tended to last like 15 minutes maximum because you still have to use like a lot of like, because you still have the time to rest and not wake up. For junior events like that, probably 10, I would say, so you don't wear yourselves out before you go out there. What are you doing in 2 hours heading to the field already? I'm guessing the master is some sort of symbol to do with that character. Okay. And obviously the anger emote thing for him. Okay. I'm wondering because these 3 are from rival schools. Like I said, in Inazuma 11, there would be repeat appearances from like the other teams sometimes, but most of the time it was like basically the equivalent of Monster of the Week, or Rival of the Week or whatever. So the fact that they like have a place in the billing of the intro is interesting to me.
Come on already!
Low battery, please come again later. どうもありがとうございました。
Okay, yep, all right, sure. Throw in domo arigato there. Okay, sure. That being text to speech makes a lot of sense because again, It's, a vending machine. Sure. Okay.
Ugh, you stupid piece of trash! Give me back my 5 cents!
Sir?
What?
I mean, the 5 cents should have been, again, equivalent to 5 yen. It's weird how it's trying to have his cake and eat it too, because, like, you have, like, Ezra-sir instead of Ezra-san. 5 cents instead of 5 yen. And then you also have, domo arigato instead of thank you. So, like, what? There's... The blending together is like, do you want this to be, like, inspired by Japan particularly or not? Or are you trying to obscure that? Or is this possibly, actually, this is meant to symbolize how a lot of dubs got localized in certain aspects but not in others. Although you would think for a localized dub they would not leave in domo arigato. But anyway.
Just take my 5 cents.
Haven't I seen you before?
That is the giantest 5 cents of all time. I would have got stuck in the vending machine. Also, what is that currency? Midori is God. 5 cents. Okay. Right. Right, I see. Now I see why I had to be big enough so it was legible.
I don't know. Have you?
Although a close-up could have fixed that.
You're the girl that I bumped into when I was going to school!
Oh yeah, that completely inconsequential event. Oh wait, that's the second time that Midori's opened up a show like that as well. I know I mentioned like the anime inspiration, but yeah, Not Your Average Girl also had someone bumping into somebody, except this time the other person didn't punch them in the face, which thankfully.
Stop yelling.
Sorry, I just got a little surprised.
It's okay.
Yes, it's truly such a harrowing event to get bumped into randomly by someone who doesn't even go to your school.
I forgive you.
Whoa, you're nice. What's your name, by the way?
I'm Yumi Amari. I transferred here last week.
Here? This trash school? You deserve better.
Ahem.
That is a classic, that's a classic rival school thing to say.
Your name, sir?
I'm Lennar!
Yelling.
Sorry.
Okay, that's good.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Is that your catchphrase? It's okay, I forgive you.
I gotta go. Thanks for the offer.
Alright.
So that's at least 2 characters that have a crush on her so far.
Welcome to the first game of the season. Today we've got Matsugai versus Evelyn Academy. Everyone, please take your seats and get ready for a spectacular game.
Spectacular, really?
This is the most people I've ever seen in our games.
Right, I'm kinda nervous. It's probably...
Okay, this... I think this might also be like My Hero soundtrack. I don't know. But like the close-ups at this point, like in the huddle here, again, I see what you're doing.
Hey, don't let that get to you guys. We came here to show our school and Evelyn that we're here to play. So let's do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Good advice.
I want more Yugo in general, because he intrigues me so much, but also he's just funny.
Matsugai on 3, 1.
Are there only 5 players? I mean, I know 5-a-side is a thing, but have you got no subs? Really?
2, 3.
Matsugaya!
I guess
What a
not.
good game.
I thought he ate the coin for a second. Oh, so that coin obviously isn't the Midori as God thing. Okay.
Matsugai is taking the kickoff first. Let's see what they have
I'm guessing that was stock footage from somewhere.
in store for us.
Yeah, this is what I said. Oh yeah, definitely My Hero, by the way. Yeah, this is what I was saying before. Like the actual game comes into play. It's not as much of like, I mean, it's not a theme for like the central main character like it is in the kaikyuko series, but it's still very much present and looks better already. And there's a combination of like stock footage,
What a nice
and like actual camera effects. And different, well, the ball's like differently sized, but hey, kind of everything. And the animated poses to go along with it, not an easy feat.
By Sagishi. Ooh, a quick divert by number 3.
Oh. It was this moment he knew. He messed up. Yep, and again, an actual pass as well. And okay, aside from that, they're running a little bit slowly here, admittedly. But everything else, like the passing of the ball and the acceleration to deceleration as well, the motion lines like helping a little bit with the speed. All of this, like, it feels consistent. The ball actually feels like an object that they are interacting with, despite the fact that it's like not even from the same like game as them. And again, I think the first time that I saw that being like done so well, because I tried like 2 years later, like a game of like Catch or something, I failed miserably. So hey. And even that kick there and going back into the animated poses afterwards, that was like only like a couple of frames, but yeah, I love this. Again, only thing that I would do differently is have them run a little bit faster. That's it.
Wow, what a swift score by Ezra, and it's only
Oh, I thought he had that, honestly.
in 1 minute.
Not surprised.
Excuse me?
Wow, whose side are you on?
Excuse me? Am I late?
Nope. The game just started.
I mean, you just hear the announcer say very loudly, it's only been a minute, so no, not really that much.
Now it's your turn, Takashi.
I'm kind of not liking this guy. We'll just have to show him who we really are.
Yeah, why did Yumi think they had a relationship again? Also, in Nizuma 11, that's also a tactic that we use quite a lot, is have the rival team score in less than a minute to really to really like cause a sense of like, danger escalation, and then the game will slow down after that.
I got you in my sight, Emerald Eyes. Looks like this guy's up for a challenge.
Wait, was that a Hold on, was that a Franken-pose? Was that a Franken-pose in like 2019 or 20? Yeah, 2019. Yeah, Frank. Yeah, I don't think I recognize that pose. Yeah, that's definitely a combination. In the background.
Looks like this guy's up for a challenge.
I mean, just pass it, honestly.
Ha! Nice try, but.
Oh, okay.
Wow, and an amazing score by.
Okay, another thing as well. Okay, all right. The goalkeepers on teams in general will wear different colors so they can be distinguished, because the ref has to, they have different rules that apply to them, so the ref has to always know which player is the goalkeeper at all times. So if any teams that have uniforms like this, that's absolutely what you need to do, is like having different colors that aren't like corresponding. Also, any self-respecting goalie, especially in a league like this, would wear gloves. It's just in general, it helps like the ball stick. That's part of like what you do. It's also certain types of gloves actually have wiring to protect your fingers. Again, I was a goalie specifically, so that's that a kid that inspired me. So so yeah, definitely noticed that immediately.
Takashi.
Yay! Gacha
Woohoo!
Oh, I guess Luna-san says Takashi instead of Takashi like everyone else. Did Midori direct people, or does all like universally agree that it was Takashi beforehand?
Classic Takashi.
Yeah, like that.
In his look.
Yeah. Evelyn's
Okay, if the game's gonna continue like this, they gotta step up. The goalie's gotta actually,
scores. Great goal by Yugo. Leonard with the Punisher. Takashi making another one. Ezra not failing to impress. Takashi, Ezra, Takashi, Ezra, Takashi, Ezra.
Oh, they're really going at it, aren't they?
You can expect
I thought one catch is waving in the background there. That's
less
very
from
nice.
two teams like this. Expect
I can expect less. The goalies are doing nothing, and none of the other players seem to be interfering or making a difference whatsoever. It's not the team leaders. It's like all it's saying is just Takashi and Ezra, and that's it. What even about the
especially
teams?
with
Come on.
those team leaders. Ezra been playing soccer all his life, and he has the skill of a future pro. Takashi has the determination and athleticism of the true blue hero.
Although I have noticed something, Zero seems to be
Again, a zero. So yeah, definitely not a show that's been redirected, which means that given how consistent they are so far, and this is like one of the earliest voice acted things, they're not doing that badly, honestly. They sound convincing. like more so than the average like voice acting projects today in some cases. But yeah, it definitely seems like maybe that's maybe because of their proficiency, Midori sort of relaxed a bit on directing and didn't ask them to redo anything.
Holding back.
Well, holding back or not, Takashi will win. As long as I believe.
Wow, it's been a hard.
Yeah, this is like a difficult thing because in Inazuma 11, obviously the main characters are the football players. So that, but in this case, all that Yumi can do in this situation is cheer from the sidelines. If they had mixed teams, you could have like taken part, honestly. But that's why I thought this was a show where she was going to do that. But then I realized like, oh, well, I guess not. So yeah, that's one thing that's that the format is that they're being held back by in this situation.
Score battle today, and Evelyn is up by 1 point with only 30 seconds left in the game. Can Matsugaya score to push the game to overtime?
All right, boys, I've been asleep the past game.
Oh, I remember you. You were on the pitch in the last episode.
So just score something.
Oh, we have the worst coach ever.
We got this, guys. Don't worry. As long as we believe.
Yugo kicks to 12. 12 kicks to 3. 3 kicks.
Oh, so they don't even get names, do they? Okay, I know I sound like Aiden when I say that, but if he knows the other names, maybe he's from this school.
7. 7 kicks to Takashi.
All I have to do is make sure I can get this ball past the defense.
Stop him.
Got it.
Looks like Lenar is stepping up to Takashi.
Great. Didn't this guy...
Oh, so Lenar actually does something.
I don't
Yeah, again, Inazuma 11, most of the time, the captain has the most personality. There's usually like, maybe like one other player that gets a little bit of a spotlight sometimes.
Listen?
It's mine now!
Or is it?
Huh?
Okay, I see that with a quick back facing and swivel around. Don't know how he got back behind him before doing that actually, but still. Actually, no, I gotta watch that again. Maybe he did. Maybe like went over the front first because it was like rewound a couple times.
Mine now!
Or
yeah, so he's on the other side of him.
Huh?
Okay, no, he just lets him go past him and then jukes him like that, but he was already on the other side of him. Okay, that's a little bit strange. I thought he like ran back on purpose and then swerved around, but never mind.
Wow, and a great spin by Takashi, but with only 5 seconds left, what's to happen?
Come on. Come on.
Emerald!
I mean, most of the time the ref will still whistle. Oh, also another Inazuma 11 thing. They name their specific techniques something like this.
Kick!
More often than not, they have like extreme visuals to go with it, but there's still, it still feels like that. Announcing your like final move in this sport, very Inazuma. And it wasn't even the goalie that saved it. Come on. Let the goalies do something. This is why I love Inazuma. The main character is a goalkeeper. They deserve more representation.
Like I said before, beginner's luck.
An unbelievable stop by Ezra, ending the game with just 1 foot.
So he stopped it with his foot in midair? A shot that high up, you would probably do like a header. Or like use your chest at least. Why the foot?
Why are they cheering?
Again, in Inazuma, they might just, do that. But anyway, also we just wait, hold on. So that shot, I guess that was that shot might have been to draw.
We just lost.
This was a game?
You're cheering for Evelyn, that's why.
Dang, that was a pretty cold ending.
I knew he was holding back.
Oh no. Poor Takashi.
Wow, that was...
Amazing! I want to do it again! Thanks for the amazing battle, you guys!
And the main character of Inazuma is also always like this, They had to like make the that's to make like the stakes like way higher outside of the matches to ever dampen his spirit.
Is this guy always upbeat? Even after a harsh loss, he's still keeping his head up.
I mean, actually, this is also, even to forget Inazuma for a second. In real life, I remember that my brother's first football team, the one that I eventually joined as in a different year group, Yeah, they played their matches at the Alfredo Di Stefano stadium, which is where the Real Madrid actual team, the professional team, train. They had their official games there, and at one point they played a game against Real Madrid, the junior division, like the ones that they were, because they were in the same league, and it just happened so they had the home field advantage. They were obviously, all of them have been like hand selected and scouted, and all of that stuff. I believe even like Jose Mourinho's son was in goal actually, playing against them. So yeah, like huge state. Well, like huge group gap disparity there. They also were. This was honestly like like a story. But yeah, they were bottom of that league consistently. They lost most of their matches, but despite that, every single time every single time they lost, they always like came out and celebrated and like sang like they chanted, "Oh, we lost," but they were still super excited, to be doing what they love. And when they played against Real Madrid, particularly, like that was their biggest loss by a lot. But even then, some of the only times that someone actually scored was like in that match. One person, my brother's best friend, actually scored twice against them, and that was like a huge thing. So even despite that, given like how much Takashi's been doing so far, or just the idea of like getting to play such like a hectic match in the first place and give it your all and show that you can do something. You're not going to give up regardless. That's all you want. He's like he said. He said at the start of this, we're not here to win. We're here to play. He knew exactly what the goal was, which was to have fun, and that's so frequently lost. Like how much like importance people will give to like sports in general, whether or not it's because they're betting on them, or it's because they're in like a professional sense, so like any mistake can like cost them their career or something. All these other external factors, like I said, that can dampen even the spirit of Mark Evans from Inazuma 11. But no, when you're that age and you're just playing the match because you're doing what you love, you don't care if you win or lose if you give it your all, and if everyone is doing the same, and if you're with your friends. So yeah, that's a goalie rep aside, otherwise very good way to convey a match like this.
I envy this guy.
He's not sad?
Takashi? Sad? Those two words can never go together. Takashi will probably be the most positive person you could ever meet.
That seems like epic foreshadowing, but okay. You can see him in her eyes. Yeah. Oh wait, it's the same. It's the same footage. Okay. Are there any other shots from like this episode? Doesn't seem like there are. Okay. All right. Well. Okay, now we get a bit of a longer sequence.
Hey, Mr. Ezra, since our next game's against Lakeville...
Goodbye.
I thought it said Lake Evil.
Sorry.
Goodbye, Lenore. You're no longer needed on this team.
Oh, come on. He's the only one that actually did something aside from, aside from you.
Failed me.
Why do you sound like King Mario from Lamp Lake? 27 times, Luigi. 27 times she's allowed herself to be captured by that monster.
This some kind of joke?
I'm no jester now, Lenore, so leave now or regret later.
Classic anime where the team captain has more power than they really should. Also, yep, Winter Fire came out right after this. Yeah, you can't play the rest of it because it's obviously very copyrighted, yada, yada, yada. Is there anything else after this? I thought it was going to be more substantial of a cliffhanger, but all right. And it's all blurred anyway, so getting a bit of a trailer style. All right, well, that was Sucks to Be Me episode 2. Still confused by the title because, you know, we end up with somebody, you know, admiring another person's positivity. And I guess like the person that got the short end of the stick here was Lenar, who wasn't even in the first episode, and Yugo was barely featured despite, you know, announcing the title of the episode. So it seems like even in the match, he got like one goal potentially, and that seems like, you know, all of the contributions that we saw him do, aside from, you know, like that one play towards the beginning of the match before we cut away. And now, obviously, you know, doing like a whole match with him like way too much. So yeah, having a montage there, I get, you know, as much as I can play about kaikyuko not showing anything, Midori actually showed like a couple of moments in here and made it, you know, and made it, you know, fitting the epic enough. Again, give or take the speed at which they ran, but the interactions with the actual ball, the way they do themselves, like the combination of the poses, with the poses with the animated ones that I never even thought was like even possible at the time. I know how to do them now, but I didn't think so back then. Yeah, there's so much to admire, like even from that aspect, but also from the story side. From the story side, you have you have just, you know, instead in the days of, you know, either in the days of either like, you know, two like, you know, edgy backstories, or, you know, have focusing too much like just the romance aspect of the characters. MidoriStories, even for like Not Every's Girl, especially, but like even this one, you know, goes to show that yeah, there's so much variety in what you can like take inspiration from, but also like what unique voice you can bring to something, and, you know, be uplifting, or have characters who can be positive rather than you know, what everyone else was doing around this time. You know, have those victories so that if there are losses, or, you know, dreary moments, then they will stand out by comparison. So yeah, Sucks to Be Me really was, you know, like something that I was like really invested in. This is like one of the last ones that I one of the last videos I actually like watched like casually, and I like MidoriStories was the one channel I was actively like waiting for videos to come out from, specifically from Gacha around this time. Aside from, of course, you know, nowadays with Gacha Review. I think the reason I stopped watching MidoriStories was actually because I started Gacha Review, and all of my Gacha focus went to videos that I was reviewing. So I then just like kind of lost my way, because there was no reason in Sucks to Be Me at all for why I would have, like, you know, stopped watching the channel. Because yeah, like just like and now having seen everything from like from the Green Knight, which I hadn't seen back in the day, like that, like Midori just like always continues to improve in all aspects. You know, this story didn't start off with, you know, a character assaulting another one that never comes up for some reason, nor was there a single moment of reliance on a meme. Maybe that kind of like went away as soon as the voice acting came in or something. I don't know. And yeah, like I said before, like the voice actors themselves, for the perceived lack of direction that it seems like they got based on like a few mispronunciations of things that would have been easily caught in editing process, they did remarkably well. They felt that they felt more experienced than you know, like most voice actors in Gacha community today. You know, there's no one that feels like they're reading from a script, or like, you know, not giving it their all, or, you know, they haven't got like the good setup or anything. Like, yeah, like, and, you know, speaking of somebody who did have to, like, you know, launch out a casting call at this point, you know, if I wasn't physically directing people before this point, like that, you know, season 1 would have turned out way worse performance-wise. So, you know, kudos to Midori for having, you know, the contacts to do that kind of thing, and to, you know, and to strike when the opportunity was there, rather than, you know, kind of like speed the process up like I did. Not gonna lie. It seemed like Midori was, you know, despite being so ahead, was able to bide his time and just simply be like, okay, get hyped like these things I'm gonna do. Yeah, it's gonna blow your mind regardless, and you're gonna have a good time watching it. You're gonna come away from it with like a pleasant experience afterwards. Which is why, yeah, didn't have too much action. Slice of life, exactly. Yeah. Which is why, it's with a heavy heart that I have to say that this is the last episode of Sucks to Be Me. This is the last episode that ever came out. It seems like after Winterfire, there was a shift to like do a different series, I think called like The Unique One, which also seems My Hero inspired. And that's the first thing of MidoriStories that I didn't watch, because again, I stopped watching because I was doing other things. So, yeah, I don't know why this show ended the way that it did, because with other Midori projects, he always seemed to see them through to their conclusion. Even if it like took like the full extent of like a whole game and like every now and then, except for like that one like video game thing that I think was like 2 episodes maybe. So I guess it's like kind of a situation like that, honestly. So yeah, it sucks that this didn't continue. And we never found out what the title actually referred to. Because yeah, of all the shows that I would love to have seen, actually carry on, not to say that I ever want to see a show ever stop necessarily, at least not before it's time for it to do so. Yeah, this one particularly, I was like, wow. So I guess I didn't end up missing that much by not continuing to watch the channel, but that also probably contributed to my unfamiliarity with Midori as time went forward. There's definitely also like a visual shift that happened sometime much later after I checked in a couple of times, but yeah. So I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because, the inspiration for the Unique One was so much more potent. Again, I've been there before where I'm like, oh, I need to, I got to put my focus on one show rather than the several others that I would love to make. And they just turn out never to be released. And I also know that Midori particularly also, at some point, given like all this evolution, held himself to such a high standard that nothing felt good enough for 3 whole years at a certain point before he then suddenly came back. So maybe going forward, or maybe there weren't that many other avenues to explore with this idea outside of, how Inazuma 11 constructed itself. I don't know. So I guess we'll never know what happens to Lenar afterwards, or why Ezra and the other one got like got like actual billing in the intro, nor who it sucked to be, nor what Hugo was talking about, like all of those, all of those things. I mean, yeah, it sucks. It sucks that we go to go see it. It sucks to be us. That's the takeaway. No wonder I use this for the lesson I talked about. I only have positive memories of it. Only confusion points are completely minor. So yeah, I mean, if nothing else, it's a fond memory, and if anything needs a continuation, it would be this. I know that people want to make a sequel to Winterfire at some point, and that never ended up coming out. But hey, so if one cast them one's mind back to this, then that's one thing I would love to see as well. Or just more sports themed gacha in general, to be honest, because it's a difficult thing to pull off, admittedly. But when you do, when you see it done right, then and like that kid from back in the day, it can inspire you. It certainly can. But for now, I guess we'll leave it at that. We'll continue with Winterfire next week, the thing that Midori actually did go on and do, and the last thing that I saw of his before I started watching the channel. And we'll see if I can arrange that for next week, probably with Emily. So, please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. And on that note, until next time,